But we have the Clock spawning as the red Terran at the top right, and Engine Light spawning as the blue Protoss at the top left. One thing that's interesting about this map is there's a backdoor expansion, which means that, and it's not your typical stupid StarCraft 2 style backdoor expansion where you can break down rocks and get in the back. Yeah. No, it's a backdoor expansion. They can't get in there, and for those two bases you actually have this one small ramp and that's it, so it really encourages macro-oriented play.
Even if you take a third right, your third base here is actually not too bad to take either.
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing about it is the fact that the NAT only has 6 mineral patches. Both the back NAT and the front NAT both only have 6 mineral patches, so it kind of promotes that expanding out quicker, and it actually helps, like in SC2, I don't know whether or not everyone else has found this compared to SC1 or whether or not it's a Protoss thing, but you're always a lot more gas starved than you are mineral starved, especially PvT not so much because you can rely on speed zealots a lot to soak up your extra minerals, but PvZ I find that pretty much every unit you would ever want to build requires gas, because zealots are the most useless things in the world.
I'm finding that as Zerg as well, but the good thing about Zerg is you can kind of just take over a few extra bases and just put gas on them if you want.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm liking the IC Cup maps a lot. As we're on this map now, they're very different. Not just sort of like they're balanced, obviously, and which is great. But like this, obviously 6 mineral patches instead of 8. On match point, I know for example there's a mineral only expansion. I mean, these gets players thinking in different ways, and you kind of have to learn the maps a bit more to learn timings, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. The one problem that we kind of have at the moment with large macro maps like this is, I'm not sure whether or not you disagree with me as a Zerg player, but the maps, like the game at the moment is kind of being balanced around the map pool that we have, and on a large map like this, it's like a large map is generally just going to favor Zerg, and when the game's being balanced towards smaller maps, when you get put on a large map like this, I won't say it's imbalanced because I feel like the game's not developed enough, but it definitely favors Zerg compared to playing on the other map pools, like the Blizzard map pool at the moment.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I do think the game needs to be balanced around these big maps. I don't like the
Oh yeah, 100%, I agree with you there.
And I hope Blizzard does change that, because macro games are fun. Don't get rid of cheese at all. I mean, don't get rid of it totally. Don't make it completely obsolete, but make it so that in a best of 7, you might see 1, maybe 2 cheese games, and you see some solid macro games. I mean,
so like slight GSL spoiler, we don't see a guy in the round of 4 lose to 2 zealots and a stalker off a standard build, because the map is like,
I mean, we had a best of 7 tonight, and it went for an hour. I mean, that's what I don't like. Don't get me wrong, they're good players.
Brutal. Like, I think that's probably happened like once, and that was either any series that's ZVZ, because that matchup was just stupid and brutal, or any game, or that, what was it, Boxer versus Yellow, where he triple bunker rushed in. Back to this game anyway, we're actually seeing Engine Light. He's chronoing out that Stalker. He's going to put on a little bit of pressure with the Zealot and 2 Stalkers. I like this opening, actually. I do this opening a bit myself. I'm going to guess that he's going to 1-gate expand, and boom, there he goes. I really like this choice. This is exactly how I would be playing this map.
Yeah, and Light's a very good player, though. I mean, I said it about Master as well, and he lost, but this is a different matchup. I mean, 2-port Banshee, is it viable against Protoss at all? I mean, we're talking about that kind of cheese stuff. What can Terran do from here?
It definitely is. Like, you saw him go 2-port Banshee, not in the way that you just go straight up to 2 ports and rush Banshees, but the way that he did it in that game against the dude that Mothership rushed.
Oh, yep.
But yeah, like that way that you kind of throw in a bunch of Marines, get a point defense turn. There's a lot of strong timing attacks, that kind of way, and there's also a lot of Banshees very viable in the mid-game and late-game stages as well, pretty much till stuff like Templar come out for feedback. But we see him moving across now. This is what's great about the way that Light opened on this map. He's actually doing a bit of a different variation of what I do. I get 2 sentries after the first 2 Stalkers.
Yep.
But I think he's still going to have absolutely no problem holding this off, because he's got that small ramp. If you had a sentry, just be able to straight away force field behind the army. But he's actually opened like the exact same way I open. I almost think that he copied my build order.
I do like this map because it's so big, but we do have an engagement here. The Terran is moving in. I don't think he has many units, and his reinforcements aren't near. Still, probes are coming out. Just being extra safe, or is this
I think that's, extra safe. Completely not necessary. Extra safe. He's going to be able to... This is the good thing about Stalkers. He wasn't able to force build behind him to trap him, but what he was able to do is chase him down, since Stalkers had a superior speed, and he didn't have enough Marauders to concuss himself. I swear to God, Light has, like, stolen my build.
Yeah, it's a good build.
Down to a T.
I like this. It works very good on these big maps. I mean, we saw him push across with that Stalker and Zealot early, and he was forced to pull back because by the time he got to his opponent's base, he pretty much had 4 units up, and you really can't beat that. And that aggression there, like when he pushed out, Light didn't have that much, but when he got to his opponent's base, he's just easily shut down. And
yeah, well, that's it. That pressure's really good, actually, against stuff like if they're opening a tech route, which is what KOTH did the other previous games. If they don't have a bunker up, that 1 Zealot, 2 Stalker pressure, especially on the smaller maps like Steps of War, can actually just kill them, like we saw in the GSL earlier today, except he got 2 Zealots instead of 1. But right now, Light is in such a huge lead and has more tech, basically more tech and more army. And there's no way he's going to die. I think KOTH is going to like relentlessly bash his head against the brick wall trying to get up this ramp as long as Light has good force field timing.
yeah,
Fact,
it is a small round
as long as he lets him get up the ramp and then force fields behind him, he's got easily enough Zealots, Stalkers, and the Sentry, the Guardian Shield, that there's just nothing that he's going to be able to do.
He's got the Observer
once
out
he's-
now, so he's pretty safe.
Yeah,
for
once he
close
scouts and he sees that there's no expansion, he can kind of cut probes now as well. Actually needs a few more, but then he can cut probes. But yeah, it looks as if everything's going right for Light right now. He's supply blocked himself, which is probably the worst time to supply block himself considering an attack's coming. But he's got enough sentries now that he can basically just force field himself in. He's going to see the amount of units and know that it's 3 racks. He's got enough gas to basically constantly build sentries and constantly force field him out of his base. It's all going to come down to he really needs to force field this in time.
Here we
Stem
go.
running up ramp, needs to force field. Yeah, good force field. Oh, the Zealot's getting blocked by the Stalkers. That's really bad.
Does kill a Stalker and let them through though. Half of them
Yeah.
reach base, and that's going to get picked off.
Light is going to be alright. The Zealots are kind of going up the units down the ramp, but it looks like Light just has way too much, and this is pretty much going to be game from here on out. Really smart force field at the bottom of the ramp to block KOTH from actually getting out as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you're winning like that, you want to finish your opponent's army off. And right now, I mean, 2 base versus 1 base. Clock does he actually know his opponent has that second base? Doesn't actually know, so he might not think he's that far behind.
I almost think maybe KOTH doesn't realize there's backdoor expansion.
Double Forge though. We
Double Forge, there we
talked
go.
about this
So,
earlier
yeah.
tonight, but
Yep.
such a strong thing to get.
Yeah, I definitely think. Yeah, there we go. He's getting Twilight Council now. I was going to say, I think you'd almost rather get you need to get that charge straight away. If you're going to go with 4 gateway exclusive units, you really need to get that charge upgrade because that is so crucial. Zealots are if they're not getting in and getting the hits, then gateway composition is just not going to work. But yeah, I feel like the way that Light's playing right now, there's almost no situation where he could lose from here unless he makes some horrendous mistake.
Clock is expanding now. I mean, pretty sure he doesn't know his opponent has that base yet, so kind of good work trying to expand, but I mean, it's a bit too little too late here. He's, what's this? Getting on a tech lab on a factory. Curious as to what he's doing with that.
The only way he's really going to get this win out is if he does some really good medevac play, which I don't think he's capable of, to be perfectly frank. It looks like Engine Light is going to kind of try to push up here, and I'm not sure. I'm sure he just plans on pressuring the Nat just to make sure he hasn't done something. Oh no, he has the Berserker there. He might actually go up and try to force field the army on the edge. Like you go up there, force field that army in the corner of the edge up the top of the ramp, and then pick that off, and there's nothing. Yeah.
He only has a few Stalkers though. He's only got 4 Stalkers and 1 Immortal. Very Zealot and Sentry heavy. Sentries don't do that much damage. We'll see. He's got the proxy pylon.
I don't think it'd be absolutely insane if he tried to attack here up this ramp. There's no way he can break up there. If he gets a couple more Immortal, if he gets that second Immortal, actually, he might be able to abuse force field really well and break that bunker and then move his way up. I'm not quite sure. I think this is more of a containing attempt, but I'm not sure if I like it as a containing attempt. I mean, his opponent. Oh, what's he doing? He's going up.
I'd like to see him expand behind this though. Obviously, he's got his opponent pinned in his base. I mean, you can just take another base right now and you feel pretty safe and you can get your advantage.
Oh, Clock. Oh, that Immortal is super keen and ballsy. He's like, yeah, let's do this. Oh, wait.
Why don't you guys go back? But yeah.
Yeah, the medevac is out, and he's getting siege mode, which is a classic move on this map as well as Lost Temple. One thing that we didn't point out about this map is just like Lost Temple, there is a ledge on the natural expansion. So if he can abuse that, it's going to force Light to go ahead and get a Warp Prism out to deal with it. So I really like that move. It's little harassment techniques like that which are going to get him back into it. It looks like, yeah, the 2 tanks are moving out now and are going to drop on his ledge.
Oh, there's the force field you're talking about. He's going to get 4 free Marauders there, and all the other units pinned out of range. In fact,
Back,
he gets 1.
Enough. I think he could have stayed in 4th there with the Immortals and the Sentries, and he would have got those units. I don't know what these 6 SCVs are doing running down the ramp, man. Who knows? They've realised that they have no hope to win, so they're kind of just trying to join the Protoss army now early. Who knows?
Yeah.
Trying to jump ship.
Just waiting for this. I should have a look at this ledge as well. I mean, you can also warp stuff in up on ledges and that kind of stuff. I mean, we could see that with the observer in play. Something else.
Yeah, that's pretty damn smart, actually.
You could also do something with the siege tanks. If you got blink, I mean, he's got Twilight Council already. Oh, he doesn't have it. It'd probably take him a while to get it, but you could just blink up there and kill the tanks as well. It could be an idea.
I think he'd actually kill the Nexus in time. I think what he's going to have to do is chrono out a warp prism and get up there that way.
Zealots should be able to deal with that easily.
That's got to be the natural reaction going through his head as well as soon as he sees it. It might be to send that Observer over there and get Stalkers over there, but if he places the tanks right, he should be able to hit that Nexus without Stalkers hitting him. But anyway, here come these SCVs that are like, yo, we want to join your team, and oh, boom! 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 Oh, trapped!
Yep, as I always say this as well, the siege tanks are kind of getting their revenge on their friends. He's pulling back, looking for his reaction. He hasn't built anything yet. He is expanding down to that third base like we talked about. But no warp prism. He's almost got Storm. I'm just trying to see what he's trying to build here. How he's trying to deal with this.
He's chucking down a bunch of gateways. His macro kind of slipped there for a second, it looks like. I think he's going to get this Nexus. I don't think it's going to be too game-changing. I think Light's going to panic for a bit and be like, oh shit.
In fact, Light's expanding down the bottom as well, so maybe just sacrificing this base.
It's going to be absolutely fine. I don't think it's going to worry too much. Oh, there we go, and he is warping in on the high ground, like you were saying. That's very smart. I think that's a stroke of luck more than a planned-out thing, because that pylon just reaches that ledge. Although we did have another one over there before that could see up there, but yeah. Oh,
low ground.
Like, dropping on the low ground to punish him for it, and those Zealots have no way of getting down right now.
Probes could do it. Oh, probably won't be able to do enough damage, but he's moved down there. Oh, this is just... what's he doing?
Around the Rosie. But yeah, in the meantime, Light has expanded everywhere. He has a gazillion gateways up.
Oh, no. Landed the tanks back up with the Zealots there, and one of the tanks is dead. The other one's on red health. He has to pull back from there. And we're back. I mean, that was good harass. I like that, but Light still has the contain. It didn't
it's more of that kind of stuff that he needs to do, but I don't think there's much he can do. What I'd love to see right now is that force field technique he did before. Oh god, that warp prism is so dead. What is it doing? Boom. Anyway, overkeen warp prism. Thought it was an observer for a second there, and it's like, hey, I'll scout. Nah.
Here's another drop on the ledge again. We've got Marines this time to help out with those tanks there. 2 full health tanks and 8 Marines.
It's being really obnoxious. In the meantime, he's using this kind of distraction to get down to low ground. But here we go, Light's coming in, having none of it. Does he have Storm? He does have Storm, but none of his Templar actually... There we go, the energy just kicked in for Storm. Nice force fields to try to trap the units. He needs to get some Storms off. Tanks on the high ground shooting down at them. Kind of playing ring around the command center with his
tanks though, which has been unfortunate.
He needs to pick up the units or else they're all going to get stormed to death. He doesn't do it in time. They're all getting destroyed. Oh man, massive win for the Protoss there. Turn around and finish off the command center. It's only got 100 health. That's like 2 shots from your...
Doesn't finish it off. Does it get an SCV down there to heal it though?
Oh, the SCV is getting blocked by the tank. This is like drastic. Get down there and finish it. Meantime though, the Protoss is natural. Really good job dealing with this. Warped in some Templar to Storm. It looks like there's only 1 tank. Oh, he actually picked up the Marines to save them. That's really smart. He's having to spend a lot of money warping in units to try to defend this. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he lifts up the Marines again in time to save them. Well, they kind of just ran into a little corner. Wow, they can get really far around that corner.
And with Zealots, they're cleaning them up. There's 2 Zealots versus 3 Marines. It's a little bit one-sided, especially with charge. But I've got to say, Clock's starting to claw himself back into this game.
Interestingly enough, yeah, 45 SCVs versus 53 probes, 3 base versus 4 base.
With
so
the 5th
neither
going
of them
up, though.
have nearly enough. Yeah, neither of them have nearly enough though to saturate their amount of bases. So pretty much all that matters right now economically is SCV versus probe count. Plus the fact that he's got 2 OCs constantly dropping mules. I'd say Terran is actually ahead economically. Unlike most Terrans, he's actually transitioned into tanks, so he's got something like, he's not just that pure bio army that's so easy to stomp over once you get Storm Tech out. I'd say Light's still ahead, simply just because he's got that map control and he's got that bigger army, but, I'm pretty impressed by Clock's mid-game, actually. He's doing a lot of good stuff. He's doing exactly what he needs to do to get back in there.
Another drop on the ledge. We've got Marauders this time. Sick of those Zealots, so he's getting out full Marauders.